Welcome to Business Class, a podcast for people wanting to upgrade their thinking, upgrade their learning, and upgrade their life. I'm your host, Eugenia, founder of Business Class Collective, best-selling author, and life coach. If you're an entrepreneur, a startup, or someone who dreams of reaching their full potential, then you're in the right place. You'll feel empowered and inspired to design the life you've always wanted. Let's do this. Hello, gorgeous people. I hope that you're well and that you're safe and happy and having a wonderful time. This week, I'm going to be talking about why backing yourself really matters. Okay, it's been just over a month since my last podcast episode where I discussed the 5 languages of love. I took time away to focus on celebrating life and enjoying new experiences. I've shown myself some love. I've been backing myself and taking the time to smell the roses, or should I say the deliciousness of French pastries and the inimitable flavours of Greece. I think by now you've gathered that I love life and life loves me back. I'm not saying this in an egotistical way, but in the manner that I truly feel passionate about life, about people, about making connections, creating new memories, and being present in my interactions. I am a student of life, and I do this through my networks, traveling, and continued learning. I think I get it from my mother. In fact, I know I do. My time away in Europe was a time to pause and reflect. I had just finished up my 20-year career with the most amazing employer. I've worked part-time for these last 2 decades, but that doesn't mean that my contribution was part-time. You see, I brought the best of me to work each day and every day, even during the challenges that life threw at me. But importantly, I was supported and given the flexibility I needed to continue in my role when life was tough. This kind of support is not lost on me, and I know just how lucky I was in the position that I held. I worked alongside an amazing employer and human being, a person who understood that when you support your team, they support you right back. My heart is full of appreciation and gratitude for that journey. Being an author and hosting events at Greek Lifestyle, and then becoming the founder of Business Class Collective was both respected and appreciated by my employer. When there is trust, integrity, and alignment, everything is possible. My commitment to finishing up 20 years in the best way possible meant that there were things I was still ticking off my to-do list at the very last minute. And that meant for the first time ever in my entire life of traveling, and much to the shock and surprise of my daughters, I packed my bags just 2 hours before leaving for the airport. I spent a few days in Paris marveling at the Haussmannian architecture with the distinctive, decorative and intricate elements that makes this city so beautiful. I immersed myself in visiting museums and experienced French culture, sitting at cafes, walking on cobblestone streets and marvelling at the Eiffel Tower and the beautiful bridges of Paris, complete with an accordion playing La Vie en Rose. I dined at marvellous restaurants and quaint cafes and bistros. Some highlights include a 2-day stay at Versailles and another at Villandry, and taking tours of these amazing chateaux and gardens. Exploring the Loire Valley and enjoying only locally grown food and wine was so grounding. I truly appreciated knowing that local communities were supported, and the flow-on effect was the reduction of the footprint on the planet. The Loire Valley is just so beautiful, and visiting a number of chateaux filled me with wonder and happiness. Okay, I had a cheeky 2013 glass of Dom Perignon champagne at the Plaza Athene to mark the occasion of the amazing career that I've enjoyed, the challenges that I have overcome, the wonderful daughters that I've been blessed with, my new son-in-law, the business that I've built, and the community that has come along with me on my journey, and to the amazing person I was working with for 20 years. I saluted each and every one of you. We only have one life, one glorious life with all its different colours and prisms, one life to appreciate our family and friends, one life to rise up, one life to be who we were destined to be. My visit to Greece was one of connection and meaning, of returning to my roots and reconnecting with my family, cousins from Canada and family from Adelaide, all together on the land of our ancestors, and the spiritual connection was absolutely life-affirming. Together with my family and friends, I swam in the crystal clear waters of the Greek Riviera, dined, danced, and drank a little too much wine, and finished the evenings with a glass or two of masticha liqueur. Late nights followed long days, and on a few occasions, after a night of celebrations and dancing, I went to bed just before sunrise. Life felt beautiful, and I was glowing beneath the Hellenic sun. I visited ancient sites, marvelled at the architecture and history. You see, Greece is a place of legends and heroes, of shades of blue that unless you visit, it's hard to imagine, of sunshine that honestly invokes a sense of wonder and creativity. It's no surprise that famous writers, poets, intellectuals, and painters immersed themselves in this special place. I witnessed amazing sunsets, then caught the sunrise, marvelled at the August moonrise, and watched as the moon shone its beautiful glowing light over the sea when I opened the shutters and stepped onto the balcony to welcome in the new day. There are not adequate words to describe this wonderful holiday experience, a celebration of the person I am, the experiences I've had, and the future that I'm so looking forward to. The truth is, no one is exempt from imposter syndrome or self-doubt, and this is why I have learned that when it's time to pour a glass of champagne, I do it unapologetically. I do it because I've worked, I've focused, and I gave of myself fully in all that I do. I choose to live a brave life and to gather wisdom and experiences along the way. I have faith in facing my challenges and solving my problems, and I choose to live a life of inspiration and meaning. My circle of influence is of opportunity and possibilities. I know that I have the intellectual and emotional resources within me to handle life's challenges. I believe in myself, and I know that you can too. The circle of influence statements begin with I can. So let's look at this. I can show up for my business. I can launch my events. I can be more patient. I can be a better listener. I can be more patient. I can build a community for inspiration and learning. Conversely, those who dwell in the circle of concern begin their sentences with, if only I could show up in a business, if only I could launch an event, if only I had more patience. You get the picture. This group lacks personal power and think that these things are external to themselves and that they are helpless in navigating their lives. However, those who believe in themselves start with I can. These statements are full of possibilities, knowing, and self-assurance. We are more capable than we imagine. We have the courage to believe and to expand on the possibilities that become available to us. So take a moment and ask yourself, if you knew that you couldn't fail and that you let go of self-doubt, and if you could let go of trust issues and allow yourself to feel more deeply, ask yourself, what chances would you take? What changes would you make? What new goals would you take? I've learnt to trust myself, and I'm happy that I exercise my choices daily. Whilst I was away holidaying, I also got to manage my business from afar, promote my July event, have people book tickets to attend, talked to sponsors to sponsor my event and give my attendees gifts. And each day I wrote in my travel journal on my phone to record the wonderful times I was experiencing. I returned home on Saturday and hosted a masterclass a few days later on the 15th. It was a huge success. And a week later, I attended a 3-day conference in Sydney where once again I backed myself, challenged my mindset, nurtured my spirit, continued my learning, and connected with amazing women. I backed myself when I sat for half an hour and figured out how to create a QR code that linked to the membership page of my website. This was my way to connect and to gift fellow attendees at the conference the free 15-page guide titled Upgrade Your Life, a guide for success and well-being. They were thrilled to have received this gift, and some have messaged me to say how appreciative they feel. I've come home more inspired than ever, eager to make my new plans a reality and step into Business Class Collective with more determination and resolve. And I look forward to you joining me on this journey. I urge you to back yourself, to believe in your abilities, to challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone, to build on your capacity every day so that you become a better person in all your relationships, whether it's at work, in business, as a spouse or a friend. Just as a little side note, I was not used to holidaying alone, but I got out of my own way and did it. And life is so much more beautiful because of it. Friendships were formed, I trusted myself, I flexed the can-do muscle, and now I'm back. I'm braver, stronger, and yet so very content. Until next time. You've been listening to Business Class presented by Eugenia Panterhos, founder of Business Class Collective. If you haven't yet, go to Apple Podcast, subscribe, rate and review this podcast. Share the love and let your family and friends know too. You can follow Business Class Collective on Instagram and Facebook. Join me next time.